And everyone, we're diving deep today, getting into some pretty interesting stuff about food safety.
Yeah, food safety, always a hot topic, right? But today we're looking at something that might surprise you.
It definitely surprised me. We're talking about a case in Maryland at a seafood distributor. You'd think, oh, seafood, that's got to be the issue.
Nope, not this time. It's a bit of a head scratcher, actually.
It is, it is. Our source is an article from FOX5DC, published just a few days ago on October 22nd. The title really says it all. Employee's homemade meal blamed for mass food poisoning at Maryland seafood distributor.
So we're going deep on this one, figuring out what happened, why it happened, and what we can all learn from it.
Because believe me, there are lessons here for everyone, no matter how careful you think you are in the kitchen.
Absolutely. So let's start with the basics. What exactly went down at this seafood distributor, NAFCO? It's in Jessup, Maryland, by the way.
Well, think about this. 46 people ended up in the hospital.
Wow, 46. That's a serious outbreak.
It is, but thankfully, no one was in critical condition. Everyone recovered, and it's important to note that no customers or other businesses were affected.
Okay, that's good to hear. But still, 46 people hospitalized. You gotta wonder, what were they serving?
And that's the twist. It wasn't the seafood at all. It was a homemade meal.
A homemade meal? You mean someone brought in lunch and shared it?
Exactly. One of the employees made a big batch of something and shared it with colleagues.
And that's what caused this. I mean, that's kind of wild, isn't it? You think of food poisoning, you think of restaurants, not someone's home cooking.
I know, right? But it just goes to show you food safety is something we all need to be aware of, even in our own kitchens.
For sure. It's easy to get complacent when you're cooking at home. But you have to remember, bacteria can grow anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's a fancy restaurant or your own kitchen counter.
So what are some of the things that could have gone wrong here? I mean, what are the common mistakes people make when handling food at home?
Oh, there are a bunch. Improper storage is a big one, like not refrigerating leftovers quickly enough or leaving food out at room temperature for too long.
Right, right. And then there's temperature. I know undercooked meat is a classic culprit.
Definitely. You got to make sure things are cooked to the right temperature internally. And cross-contamination, that's another big one.
Cross-contamination. That's like using the same cutting board for raw chicken and then veggies
Yes.
without washing it in between.
Exactly. It's super easy to transfer bacteria that way. And then there's just basic hygiene, washing your hands properly, keeping your work surfaces clean, all that good stuff.
It's like a chain, right? If one link breaks, the whole thing falls apart.
That's a good way to put it. And what's interesting about this Maryland case is that NAFCO, the seafood distributor, they actually have very high food safety standards.
Yeah. They issued a statement after the incident emphasizing their commitment to food safety and their cooperation with authorities. They said they follow all the regulations, undergo regular inspections.
They even mentioned their HACCP plans. Those are specifically designed to identify and prevent hazards like this.
So it's not like they were cutting corners. They take food safety seriously.
Which makes this incident even more striking. It shows that food safety is a shared responsibility. It's not just on the companies and the regulators. We all have a role to play.
Absolutely. So what's the takeaway here for our listeners? What can we do in our own kitchens to make sure we're handling food safely?
Well, the good news is most foodborne illnesses are preventable. The first step is education. Learn the basics of safe food handling. There are tons of resources online, even courses you can take.
Knowledge is power, as they say.
Right. And it's not just about memorizing rules. It's about understanding why these practices are important, why we wash our hands, why we cook meat to a certain temperature.
So we're not just following blindly, we're making informed choices.
Exactly. And beyond the individual level, this case raises some interesting questions about food culture.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about it. Sharing food is such a fundamental part of our social lives. Potlucks, office parties, family gatherings.
That's how we connect, right?
It is. But this incident makes you think, how can we maintain those traditions while also ensuring safety? Are there ways to encourage safer food sharing practices?
That's a great point. It's something we all need to consider. So this deep dive has given us a lot to think about. It's not just about avoiding undercooked chicken. It's about recognizing the complexities of food safety, the shared responsibility we all have, and how seemingly small choices can have big consequences.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with a question. How has this story changed your perspective on food safety? Will you be more cautious at potlucks? More diligent in your own kitchen? It's something to ponder. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, stay safe out there.
And stay healthy.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like this video, and share it with your friends. We'll see you next time on Stateside Health Scoop.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.